Good afternoon and welcome to Pakistan Today News from our New York studio. I'm Chris Taylor. We begin with breaking developments from the Middle East, where a major escalation in the 3-week-old conflict has left more than 100 people injured. Iranian ballistic missiles struck the southern Israeli towns of Arad and Dimona late Saturday. Israeli air defense systems reportedly failed to intercept at least 2 of the projectiles, which hit residential areas. Emergency teams continue to work through the morning, treating dozens of wounded citizens, including several children said to be in serious condition. The latest exchange marks one of the most intense phases of the conflict so far. In a significant escalation of rhetoric, President Donald Trump has issued a stern 48-hour ultimatum to Tehran, warning that the United States could obliterate Iran's power plants if the Strait of Hormuz is not fully reopened. The statement represents a sharp shift from earlier remarks suggesting a possible winding down of hostilities. Iran has responded firmly, with its military vowing to target all U.S. energy and desalination infrastructure in the region if its own facilities come under attack, raising fears of a broader regional confrontation. Turning to Pakistan's response, Islamabad has officially expressed its readiness to play a mediation role in an effort to prevent further instability. Information Minister Ataullah Tarar stated that Pakistan is actively engaging with international partners to help de-escalate tensions while maintaining balanced diplomatic relations. The government is also closely monitoring its 900-kilometer shared border with Iran as the situation continues to evolve. Let's go now to our Islamabad correspondent, Sarah William, for more on Pakistan's position.
Thank you, Chris. Pakistani officials are emphasizing diplomacy as their primary course of action amid the rapidly escalating conflict. Sources within the government indicate that contingency planning is already underway to address any potential spillover effects, particularly along the border with Iran. Authorities are also coordinating with international agencies to prepare for humanitarian challenges, including possible refugee inflows. At the same time, Islamabad is seeking to maintain a delicate balance in its relations with both regional and global powers. Officials here stress that preventing further escalation remains the top priority.
Thank you, Sarah, for that update. Meanwhile, international aid agencies are warning of a looming humanitarian crisis. The United Nations estimates that more than 3.2 million people have been displaced within Iran since the conflict began on February 28th. Pakistan is reportedly making contingency plans to manage possible migration flows along its border. This comes at a time when the region is still dealing with the aftermath of large-scale deportation campaigns carried out throughout 2025, adding further strain to already stretched resources. On the economic front, global oil prices have surged past $100 per barrel following the mining and closure of the Strait of Hormuz by Iranian forces. In an effort to stabilize markets, the Trump administration has announced plans to lift sanctions on what it calls stranded Iranian oil currently stored on ships at sea. At the same time, major economies, including Japan, are considering deploying naval forces for potential minesweeping operations, should a ceasefire agreement be reached. In other developments, new details have emerged regarding U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran's Natanz and Bushehr nuclear facilities. Iranian state media maintains that no radioactive leakage has occurred. However, analysts suggest these strikes were a key trigger behind the heavy missile retaliation witnessed in Israel over the weekend. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz has stated that operations targeting Iran's strategic capabilities are expected to intensify significantly in the coming days. And finally, in a notable geopolitical development, discussions have surfaced held potential joint counter-terrorism exercises between India and Iran. These talks are reportedly focused on militant groups operating near the Iran-Pakistan border. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has also urged India to use its influence within the BRICS bloc to help bring an end to what he described as U.S. and Israeli military aggression in the region, signaling a possible shift in regional alliances. That's all for now. You're watching Pakistan Today News. I'm Chris Taylor.